Coming to you from the studios of WTAP Plus, it's Mental Health Mondays with Andrew Knoll.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for another Mental Health Monday. I'm Andrew Knoll. Westbrook Health Services recently opened the Care Center, which is a new walk-in support space for adults experiencing a behavioral health crisis. Joining me in the WTAP Plus studio today to tell us more about it is Rachel Scheiding with Westbrook Health Services. Rachel, thanks so much for sitting down with us again.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to have you back in studio for another episode here on Mental Health Monday. Absolutely. And something over at Westbrook Health Services, something really good for our community is coming to us. Recently was just open. So can you tell us a little bit more about the CARE program over at Westbrook?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the CARE Center. I've had the privilege of getting to help plan and start the program, which is wonderful, and we finally got to open. So the CARE Center, that stands for Crisis Access, Recovery, and Engagement, and it's basically a space for people experiencing a mental health crisis that are looking for support and maybe a place to kind of calm down, get back to stability or baseline, and maybe they would have gone to the emergency room typically, and instead of having to go to the emergency room and sit through long waits and possibly medical bills, they can come and sit with us, and we can talk to them, offer our services, or they can just kind of sit and hang out. We've got comfortable recliners, lap blankets, TV, snacks. I mean, it's just kind of a place to like chill and get your bearings if you're having a rough time.
Absolutely. And so can you tell us a little bit more about what was kind of the inspiration behind creating this program?
Yeah, so this program is modeled after what's called the mental health living room, or the crisis living room. And it's a model that was sort of pioneered in Colorado and has popped up in other states over the last couple of years. So when we were planning our care center after this living room model, our staff visited one that has been up and running for a while in Maine, and kind of picked their brains about what works, what doesn't, how they're running things, their challenges, the successes, and we used all of that information and then combined it with what we know about our community and what our community needs and could benefit from to create our program.
Absolutely. And so how will the CARE program specifically address immediate crisis situations, for individuals who are experiencing those behavioral health challenges? So
people who are in crisis, I mean, we've always had crisis services at Westbrook. That's always been an option. If you're having a mental health crisis, you come in and see us. But this is a place that is more comfortable. It's called the living room model because it's supposed to look and feel like a living room at home. Right. It's comfortable, it's cozy, it's relaxed. There's no pressure to participate in any services. You don't have to have an assessment. You don't have to give us a bunch of information. We're not going to bill your insurance. It's really casual. Of course, if you want to know about our services, we'll tell you. And if you want any of them, we'll absolutely set that up. But it's not something that anybody has to do in order to use this program. So I see that being a benefit because for folks that are like, maybe I need some mental health support, but I don't really want a therapist. I don't want to see a doctor. I don't, that's too much for me. This is a place you can come and sort of dip your toe in the waters of mental health services. We can talk to you about what we do, what we have, kind of the buffet of services. You can pick and choose if you want any of them. But if you don't want them, that's perfectly fine too. I think it will be a benefit to our community, hopefully, in preventing some of the emergency room visits that are solely because of mental health symptoms. So people who are having panic attacks, or people who are experiencing, severe depression, or maybe having some suicidal thoughts. They don't have to go to the emergency room and again be submitted to kind of that environment, which can be stressful, time consuming, and expensive. come to us. We're the experts on that stuff, right? And we're here for it.
Absolutely. And so what steps over at Westbrook have you guys taken to ensure easy and timely access to this program for those that are going to need it?
Yeah, so with this program in particular, like I said, we don't have to gather a lot of information. So you walk in the door, you say, I want the care center. Someone will walk you back to the care center, and all we're going to ask you is your name and your birthday.
Okay.
If you want to give us more information, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's really quick, it's really easy, and it's no pressure.
Absolutely. And so I want to talk a little bit about the R in care, the recovery aspect. What kind of support and resources are going to be available to help the individuals on their recovery journey?
Sure. So in our care center, it's always staffed by 2 staff members of Westbrook. Right now it's staffed by 2 crisis specialists. And so these are people who are trained in helping folks de-escalate, calm down, get to stability, practice techniques that will help if they're having anxiety, depression, and those kinds of things. And so we offer that kind of on the spot. And then, of course, all of the resources and services of Westbrook are available. So we can link people in with peers, which are people who have lived experience in having mental illness or substance use disorders. We can link people with medical services, to see our psychiatrists or prescribers, therapy services, care coordination, which is our folks that help with, like, you need to apply for housing, you need to apply for benefits, you need to figure out grocery shopping and childcare. Like, we can help with that. We can help you figure those things out. So all the services that we have available, like I said, once you're there, we can explain that, we can offer that. Or if you're like, nah, I don't want to hear it, awesome, that's fine too.
Right, that makes sense. Now, can you also talk a little bit about the program, fostering engagement with individuals, and why this is a crucial element for successful behavioral health care?
Yeah, we want people to engage with us. We want to remove the stigma from mental health care and from having mental illness. And so making it as easy and comfortable and casual as possible is the goal, to engage with more people, to engage with our community. We also want to engage with other partners in our community, like law enforcement, like primary care providers, like the hospitals. We want them to know that this is available. So law enforcement responds to a lot of calls that are primarily because of mental health or substance issues. In a lot of those cases, we can help with that. So if law enforcement kind of assesses the scene, clears the scene, and wants to do something for that person, they can bring them to the care center, and we can take it from there and help free them up to do, other things that they need to do. So yeah, we're trying to engage with the community members and the community partners that we have.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break here in Mid-Ohio Valley, but when we turn, we're going to talk more about this program and hear more about things that are going to be added to it potentially in the future. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, as we're here on Mental Health Monday. Now, Rachel, we've got to turn our attention to the future of the CARE program because you guys have some exciting things coming up for it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the expansion that will be coming with this program in the future?
Sure. So not sure about timelines because it's dependent on a lot of things, but we are looking down the road to expand the care center into potentially a psychiatric urgent care.
Very exciting.
Potentially to be able to offer walk-in medication services, which would be great, right? That's what a lot of people are looking for when they go to the emergency room or they go to medical urgent cares. It's because they've run out of their medications or they're having a bad reaction to a medication that's for psychiatric use, and we would like to be able to be part of the solution in addressing those issues so that people don't get to the point where they have to be admitted into a psychiatric hospital to be stabilized. We want to catch things before that point.
Right. And so now I want to turn our attention just specifically to the CARE program overall. What is, your kind of vision for the long-term impact with this program in the community?
So long-term, what we're hoping and what we expect to see is a reduction in emergency room visits, and not just for mental health reasons, but also hopefully for medical reasons. Because like I said, if we can link people in with care coordination, then care coordinators providers can help with getting them in with like primary care providers and addressing any medical problems before they become an emergency. We also are hoping to see a reduction in mental hygienes or civil commitments where people have to be hospitalized for mental health against their will.
Right.
We would like to be able to, again, address those issues early on versus waiting until somebody has to be hospitalized. So we're hoping to see definitely those two things decrease. And then hopefully an increase in community members using our services and just feeling comfortable coming in and not feeling like there's a stigma around coming to Westbrook or having a mental health problem or a substance use problem. We want to be comfortable, open, and accessible for everyone.
And so that's something that I want to touch on now, and it's great that you just started talking about it, that stigma of, mental health services, Westbrook Health Services, all those different kinds of things. Can you just tell us how the CARE program specifically itself will help to aim to reduce that stigma for people and, make people, feel that it's okay and there's nothing wrong with stepping into the mental health service, facility so that they get the help that they need?
Yeah, I think in the care center, particularly by its design and the fact that it's not a super clinical space, right? It doesn't look like a doctor's office. There's not going to be assessments and a bunch of questions and taking vitals and those kinds of things in the care center. It's going to feel a lot more casual and comfortable so that hopefully that can reduce the stigma, right? If the mental health facility has a place that looks like your really nice living room, that's going to be a little bit more appealing than sitting in a doctor's office might be, especially for people that have anxiety or have some preconceived notions about mental illness. So
absolutely. And so that leads me to my next question, because obviously you want to reduce that stigma and you want people to come in. So what would be your message to individuals, viewers at home, maybe that are listening to this right now, that are hesitant to seek behavioral care, especially with the introduction of this new model in the CARE program?
I would say definitely try to be open-minded, give it a chance. And if you're hesitant and you're not sure, you're on the fence about whether you need mental health help or substance use help, start with peer services. Those are our folks that have been through it, they've lived it, and they've come out the other side to be able to help others get through it. And those are the people that can sit with you and be like, man, I get it. Like, I get how you might be feeling, or I understand the feelings people have when they come to treatment and they don't necessarily want to have to do that. Peers are one of our greatest assets in reducing that stigma, because they've been there as the patient, the client, and now they're there as the staff, the provider. Okay.
And so that leads me into my next question, talking about, the staff, the provider. What kind of training and preparation did you guys go through? You could talk about personally yourself or just the whole staff in general, because obviously there may have been some different things based on your role. But can you just tell us a little bit about, the training that went into this and the preparation for this program to get launched when it got launched in January?
Sure. Yeah, so we did a lot of research. Like I said, we sent folks to Maine to work with them to see their living room and ask them lots of questions. We've reached out to other places that are running this program successfully and gotten their input as well. And then, of course, the significant training that we've had in like taking safety measures and precautions. It is important to know that if you come to the living room, there is a search procedure. So we don't strip search, we don't do pat downs, we're not going to touch you, but we are going to ask that you let us secure your things while you're there, and that you turn your pockets out, shake your shirt out, take your shoes off, those kinds of things. Because we want to make sure everybody stays safe while they're there. And so we've had training in how to do those searches and how to do them in a way that's trauma informed and caring of the people that we're working with. We don't want it to feel like a jail or anything like that, and it definitely doesn't. But we also want to balance that with safety. So we've had a lot of training also in de-escalation. How do we help someone calm down when somebody's angry, irritable, aggressive, really sad, really anxious? What are some of the things that might work, and how do we use those with people in those states of mind. So a lot of training has happened, and our folks are really competent.
Well, it certainly sounds like you guys are very well prepared with it too, and I'm excited for this program because it's definitely something that is going to help in our community, I think, very much. Now, one of my final questions that I have for you is, how can community members and other organizations support the mission of Westbrook and the CARE program?
Encourage people to go, to come to us. You can come with them. If you're a family member and you want your loved one to come, you're allowed to come with them. You can sit with them in the care center and hang out with them there and meet with us. A lot of time that helps, just to be like the person that's sort of metaphorically or literally holding your loved one's hand and saying, let me do this with you. I'll go with you. If you've ever been through mental health or substance use treatment, talking about it is such a big thing, letting people know. And I know that that's everybody's personal business, and it's not that anybody has to, but it does help to reduce the stigma. And I try to be pretty open that I've experienced depression before, and I've been through therapy as well. And I think that's an important thing to acknowledge. Like, anyone can be in that point.
Oh, absolutely.
And most people have been. It's just a lot of people don't talk about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that mental health struggles are real. I mean, silence is not the key. You need to speak out. You need to let your voice be heard, especially if you are struggling with something. And I think that's a great thing that you said. Obviously, a lot of people struggle in silence and don't say the things that they need. But this is a great program that it can even be in a more relaxed format, like you said. So I plead with anyone out there that is listening that struggles with their mental health issues, challenges that you may have, to check this program out, because I think it is really going to be a great addition to our community. And that's kind of my final pitch for it, but I'm going to let the expert here, Rachel, give us a final pitch. What's kind of one key takeaway for listeners to understand about the CARE program and its potential to, transform behavioral health care here in the Mid-Ohio Valley specifically?
Yeah, I think giving things a chance, having an open mind, that would be my biggest takeaway. I know new things can sometimes be scary, and it can be tempting to get negative or get critical or say, that doesn't sound like it would work, or I'm not sure how that's helpful. Just give things a chance and see how it goes. I really think that the care center can become a wonderful alternative to the emergency room or jail. Right? It doesn't have to, mental health crisis doesn't have to end up in the hospital or the jail. And this is a new option instead that I think is going to be great.
Absolutely. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing a wonderful program with us. And I'm super excited for you guys over at Westbrook. I know it's already kicked off and you guys are a few weeks into it, about a month or so now when this releases, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. And I think there is a lot of potential for a wonderful program here that's going to help, hopefully, a lot of our community members.
Yes, I hope so too.
But thank you so much again for joining us. Mid-Ohio Valley, that'll do it for us here on Mental Health Monday. Tune in next Monday and find out what we're talking about then. See ya.
Bye.